It says how to exit. That's the third topic. So this is easy. We've been talking about this shit all this time. This shit is easy. How to exit. Let me say something here, because you got to give a disclaimer, because a lot of our people are just not advanced enough yet emotionally for the type of truth that is going to really make a difference, a real difference. You know, so it's like a person that was born in a prison, or a child whose mama is just, like Tupac was born in prison. Just imagine his mama stayed there. They never came out. He stayed there, grew up there. If they was to leave, he would start crying, because that's all he know. He don't know the outside world and shit. The flowers around the prison are probably pretty to him. He liked that place because he don't know nowhere else. So the moment you take him to Six Flags and bring him back to that motherfucker, he'd be like, man, let's get the fuck up out of here. You feel me? So, I have to say this, man. There is a part in the New Testament where they said Christ was crying, because the nigga was always crying. That nigga probably was a cancer nigga. He was always crying. And they said, why are you crying? The women of Jerusalem. The women asked her, not the man, because all this shit's allegory. They said, why are you crying? He said, no, the women. He said, don't grieve for me. Grieve for your children that's coming, for what they're gonna do to them. So basically, he's trying to tell them, if you love your blood, don't bring him in a world where Roman soldiers gonna rape him. Why you want to bring your blood in a world like that? Don't you value your blood? You want to bring it in a world that's at least half decent. When the world is ruined, why do you want to bring innocent souls into a ruined world? Okay, now when I mean ruined, I mean like the person's life. You ain't got no money. You're not doing well for yourself, and you want to fuck around and have a bunch of kids. Why would you want to do that and make them souls suffer? So this is the emotional maturity that a lot of Africans, a lot of third world nations are still yet to reach. They are not able to take control and responsibility for their own fate, because they've been trained to pray to something outside of themselves, or always to look for something outside of themselves to help them. So even the conscious people, they manifest into the universe and all that shit. They want the universe to do shit. The universe don't do nothing. Just tell you right now, son. The universe don't do nothing but what you do. Whatever you do is what the universe doing. You know why? There is no universe. Remember I told you there's no outside? The outside that you're seeing is fake. It's in your mind. This shit that we walking around in ain't no difference from when you go to sleep and you walking around somewhere. The place that you walking around in your dreams is this place. This place right now ain't no difference. This shit just slow down and make you feel like you can feel it. At the time that you pass away from this world and you think back to this very moment that we're talking right now, it'll seem like a dream to you, because it was never real. Okay? So, in terms of the exit, a lot of races have left. There are some civilizations that reached that level of consciousness and left. a lot of them African civilization. You look at the Olmecs, a lot of the more ancient peoples around Africa left. The Olmecs were said to just disappear and vanish. Whenever you read that some people just vanished and left a bunch of advanced monuments, they phased out over a good number of years. Basically, they closed the woman's gate. It's the woman. Remember I told you the snake always goes to the woman. It's the woman. They closed the woman. Once you close the woman's gate, you close the gate to this realm. Nothing coming in, nothing going out. Nothing coming in. You can go out, but you ain't coming in. So anybody that dies and the gate stay closed, ain't no coming in, son. Stay over there. That's what it means. If one gate open, all of them could come through one gate, one woman. If one gate open, right, and that woman have 2 kids and dies, and nobody else have kids, the entire ancestors can come back through those 2 kids again and relive the whole experience. Okay? So a lot of these civilizations, that's where you get the mythos of Lilith. Lilith Murdoch. So we're going to explain a little bit about these Lilith things. Because a lot of people think is a woman. A lot of Africans tend to take things literally. They think a snake is a snake. When they say snake in the Bible, the niggas start worshiping snakes in the bushes. So when they say Lilith is the first wife of Adam, I see a bunch of women out here think Lilith is a woman. Lilith is a concept pertaining to matriarchy or womanhood, the womb. Lilith is a concept that affects the gate or the womb. That's the only thing it has to do with the woman, but it's not the woman. It's just a concept that affects the womb. So Lilith and Eve. So the first was Lilith, then Eve. He said Lilith did not want to bow to Adam. He didn't want to respond to Adam. A lot of feminist women tend to think that means bucking your man. However, it's nothing literal in spirituality. Lilith not bowing to Adam is basically telling you that the initial purpose of your soul coming down here was complete disrespect for physical life. Physical life is Adam. When your soul first came down here, it came down here to destroy this place. It didn't come down here to enjoy it. However, the illusion of this place, the illusion of it, the power of the illusion kept it here. So when they tell you that she refused to bow down to Adam, your ancestors or your soul, when your soul first came down to this region, it knew what it came here for. But over time, it forgot. When it forgot and it started populating this place, it became Eve. When it became Eve, it inherited a curse. Okay? So the snake told Eve, if you really want to populate this bitch, this is what you're going to experience. Pain every time. Pain. Pain from childbirth, pain from your husband, just pain all around. If populating this place is your choice, then pain comes with it. It's not a curse. It's just telling you, hey, if that's your choice, then that's what's down the line. Adam is, if it's your choice to support her in populating this place, then you, whenever she births them kids, you gonna be grinding all your whole life. Your kid's gonna inherit the grind. So the snake was telling them, hey, if y'all choose to entertain this bullshit down here, you titans, well, this is what life gonna be for you. So it wasn't God's curse. It was the snake's explanation of going out the garden and populating. And, when they wrote it as God's curse. Just telling them, hey, that's reality, man. If this is what you want to do, then this is what's going to happen to you. It's not bad or good. It's just what's going to happen when you do some things. Okay? So This is the part where you lose many Africans because they're sentimental and childish, unfortunately. Transcendent concepts don't relate well with them. If you tell them how they're going to make a bunch of money here and build a bunch of houses, have a bunch of kids, yo, they down with that shit, man. If you tell them, hey, let's leave this bitch. This bitch is, we're fucked here. We don't own shit here. We don't even own Africa. A lot of people say, I'm African. No, you're not. You don't own it. You can't be what you don't own. Okay? If you look closely, black people are really not of this world anymore. We don't belong here economically anymore. We don't own anything. We're not part of the nations. They let us play along, but they know that we're living on borrowed time. Y'all need to go read a lot of their occult books, Blavatsky's book, where they tell you they use coded language to talk about Africans. And they say this race of people, when they describe it down to the Africans, they say these guys don't know that their time has passed. And nobody gonna tell you except God. If you hear him. You feel me? They don't know that their time has passed. So this is pure logic. This has nothing to do with sentiment. I don't give a fuck about your kids. It's not about children. It has nothing to do with children. It has everything to do with the concept of your being here. How did you get here? How is it that if you're not going to be here no more, how is that going to happen? First thing, you have to stop coming here. How do you come here? Procreation. So it's not sentimental. It's just common sense. This is what you got to do if you want to leave here. You can't keep coming here and want to leave here. That don't make sense. Okay? So, this is, like I said, this is the part where you lose a lot of our people because they're emotional people. They're emotional. You know, a lot of us are emotional. Like, because our blood is dead. Our blood is aged. And we can't compete when you're aged. You can't. I don't give a fuck what you do. If you're an old warrior, you do not stand a chance around the young ones. It's basically a time to bow out. You have to know when to bow out. So you don't end up like Muhammad Ali with fucking shaking and shit. Getting beat the fuck up when you ain't supposed to be fighting. You gotta know when to leave. You know? And this is the message of the New Testament. Exit. Exodus is actually a New Testament message also. He said, this world is, you're not of this world. What does that mean? He said, how do I get to heaven? He said, sell all your belongings and follow me. Dispose of all your worldly possessions and follow me. And people take this shit literally and go sell all their shit for real though. It's the dumbasses out here. But it ain't got nothing to do with your actual possessions. Your possession on earth is your presence. When you die now, and you have 4 kids, you still down here 4 times. That's your possession. So selling all your possessions and shit is a coded way of telling you to leave. Alright? So I don't mean to piss on niggas' picnics. You know, this is a very precarious time that we're living in. this is not a time to be catching feelings on how a motherfucker talk or the language that he used. This is a time to focus on the truth, get the truth, and do something with it. So whoever is expressing something to you, don't look at the person. Just listen to what the fuck the person got to say, get it, and you use it. A lot of forces walking around now as humans. Every force down here now. All these motherfuckers you're calling Osiris, I see this nigga's here now walking with you, Facebooking with you. Everybody here. Alright? So in the exit strategy, a lot of the advanced civilization got to the exit exodus consciousness from psychedelics. Right? Okay. Okay. Psychedelics. Okay, so let me read some comments. Let me see here. My eyesight. Damn. It says, okay. It says, why don't our people not love themselves? And when you try to, they hate you for it. Well, Sabrina, I'm going to tell you something right now. You ain't got no people but you. You need to focus on how you going to get the fuck up out of here. There ain't no people. Ain't no our people. Ain't none of that. This is a personal salvation. You think of yourself. You don't even think about your kids or your wife. You think of your soul. You're responsible for yourself. Start from there. So, stop all the our people shit. That shit's just going to slow you the fuck down. Alright? Focus on yourself and what you're going to do for you and how. And anybody that wants to be helped, help the person. But don't waste your time on people that don't want to be helped.